And since today is going to be interactive anyhow, more than what you could read or that I could say, I would love for you to participate with me later on. Nothing fancy, but in order to make a point of why movement matters, I think it's important that you experience it. Right?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
And for example, for me as a teenager, I used to be very, very shy and verbally, like completely antisocial. I'd rather just hide behind my hair, and I used to wear glasses and just not interact. So the fact that I'm here standing and talking is a big deal.
But so with that said, when I imagine you just finished Thanksgiving dinner, right? So kind of like lunch, this is happening. So how can we make this a pleasant moment?
So daydream for a moment and open your chest. Also lovely.
Great, amazing. And speaking of lovely, it is lovely to have a connection with our bodies, to be, to experiment, to discover that innocent, and they're like, oh, like no matter what, it's okay to be goofy. But when we become serious adults, we don't like making mistakes, right? We're more reserved, and when it comes to movement, we begin to come inward. We begin to close ourselves. We're in meetings like this, right? You drive like that, unless you are a teenager. So the body is constantly speaking, and we're always sending that message into the body. So losing the connection between our thoughts and emotions begins to create a detachment from our whole entity. So I love somatic movement because it's the type of movement that is going to be integrated. I'm not flying a stone, you should sleeve, not the head of your neighbor. So we're gonna pump in here. Lips will be sealed and work only on the out through the nose. Done. Breathe. So if you do 7 to 10 seconds of that, is better than coffee. You get oxygen to the blood. 2 blocks, 3, and the hips will be the 4th. So they're moving just the 3rd one around. And imagine that you have a glass of water on the front of your head. So it's not going. Isolate. So when your belly is opening forward, breathe in. Excellent. So this loosens up the spine, reverse. Having a flexible spine is always an amazing thing to make sure that we're 85 and we can still do cat and cow and down dogs. By the way, Professor Kimboko is a faithful practitioner with me. So she's always there doing all kinds of goodies. All right, so say this was a baby version. Let's do a gigantic one. You might get some cracks, it's a beautiful thing. Deep breath. Also, if you exaggerate this movement, you're on a cushy surface, but if you're on a hard surface, this helps you for any pain on your sacrum as well. Anybody that has scoliosis, or for mamas that just deliver babies, things like that. So be nice to the body, play with it. I think about this like if it's a big bear scratching their back on a tree. I like using analogy so that you can relate to it and you make it yours rather than detached from it. All right, I think that's good. Take that home. Let's do some dancing for you and invite you to join. Now, why dancing? If you are familiar with Dance for Fitness, right? You have the instructor in the front and then the group is in the back. And when you do Dance for Fitness, you just follow along and you might elbow the neighbor, but there is no retention, right? You're not retaining specific directions or counts or patterns. And when you do somatic movement, which is like contemporary dance, or Bharatanatyam dance, which is classical Indian dance, there is this cognitive stimulation that requires for someone to retain counts, the correct beat, have the awareness of your own body, and in this case, as you'll see, also space awareness that we're going to do this beautiful thing. So even if the dance that we're about to do is very easy, we didn't do anything between Saturday last week to today. So the challenge is, how much did your brain retain? Unless you cheated and watched the video, right? But let's say that we didn't watch it. How much can your brain really absorb that information? And then translate it into the body. That stimulation into the nervous system is amazing. So visually, it's like, yeah, it's easy to follow. But if someone verbally says, right, oh, this is my right. So now it's confusing. So understanding those patterns is going to also prevent the decline of that cognitive stimulation. So dancing in this way, it's not just fun and funny, it's really an amazing thing to prevent dementia, for example. So do it because it's nice. All right, it's a song that you probably know. So feel free to cheer and clap as we go. Actually, you should clap anyways. It's good. Because this ladies, I volunteer them basically.
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I walk for miles along the highway, well that's just my way. I'm saying I love him, I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. We are in the middle, riding on his pedal, maybe he's riding for me. And as the stars that moving, the night when he whispered to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I hope I'm walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just hoping you may be somewhere walking after midnight, searching for you.
We would love to come and try it. Take it, yeah, 1, 2, excellent, 3, fabulous. Brave one, who's nice? So when we do any kind of choreographed dance, in order to match the music, we have counts of 8. We do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So that already is establishing a beat. So these are fabulous diva arms, and I want you to get into like, ooh, diva, right? So we go right arm, we do 1, 2, left, 4. You can try it on your seat. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Good. Easy. Then on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is anytime that you are sad, you go, yay. I'm a big deal. Google me. Who knows that song? Right? That's a song. I didn't make it up. Okay, good. Excellent. Oh, you can come in tomorrow. She's in the dark side. Okay, so we are going to just go back and forth, one of each, right? And then sway. Now, this, as simple as it looks, it gets your core. Swing your hips like a palm tree. And that's it. We do 2, 4, 6, 8. Good. Hands on hips. So we do a stomp and a tap, a stomp and a tap. Yeah, we can. Same thing in the back. Now we're going to snap it. Ready? And everybody's smiling. Are they smiling? Yeah. Yes. Done. I think that's plenty. Yeah? Yes. We have dress rehearsal and best performance. Ready? Divas. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Backwards. And 2, 2. Smiling. And ready. Overhead. Swaying. 1, 2. Happy. Breathing. Yes, we can. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands coming down. Hippie. Excellent. And stump and tap. 5 and 6. In the back, snapping. And I think that's good for now. All right. Rehearsal, not performance.
I'm walking after midnight. I wait the moonlight, just like we used to. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
Yes.
I walk for miles along the highway. Well, that's just my way. I'm saying I love you. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
I ask my ladies that have been faithful students of mine, and also my dear friends, to share some of their personal stories of why movement is relevant to them.
My name is Priscilla Kimboko. I'm 79 years and 6 months. And I have been active off and on during my life. I learned yoga by reading a book, and and I used to go to some classes at my university to take some, and then I did bicycling for a while, and then I got bored with that, and then I did walking for a while. I was, have my Fitbit, so I had to get 10,000 steps a day, and I did that for several years, and I got to where I could do 10,000 steps really easily. But I was intermittent. It wasn't regular, and I had never danced in my life. So I decided, after reading an article about Laura's studio, that I was going to go to her class to see if I could learn to dance. She had a class called Global Jam, meaning that they choose music from around the world and then we dance to it. And I went very embarrassed that I might not be able to dance, because I never had. And so I've been going now, I think 6 years maybe, every Saturday at 11. And for an hour and a half, we warm up, and then we choreograph on the spot with some kind of music, and then we do the dance, and then she videotapes us. So I've been doing this and I love it. But I also have taken yoga classes. I've also taken body conditioning classes, so a range of things. And every week I have 4 classes I typically take. Body conditioning, mobility.
I'm Deborah Hoskins. I'm 61, and I've known the importance of movement. So as a kid, I did dance, I swam, I was pretty active. I took some yoga in my 20s, but I realized that I wanted to take classes in my late 40s. So I did Zumba, and I did other classes that they had. Zumba is pretty strenuous, and I just got tired of
It is not so many good.
yeah, it really makes you huff and puff. So I was a little overweight in 2014. My insurance company said to do a pre-diabetes class, and I was able to lose I think 35 pounds that I've been able to keep off. And the most important thing was they asked us what our dream exercise was. Now, I was feeling like I just didn't want to do exercise anymore, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to take the class. So this thing about the dream exercise just really opened me up. And my dream exercise was modern dance. And I thought, oh, that will never happen, and when you do a wish, when you put a goal out there, and you really visualize and really believe in it, you take effort. I made effort. So I did find a school that had modern dance, and it was with high school girls. So it was okay. I learned a lot. But then, the universe makes things happen, and it was just one of those meaningful coincidences that I ran into Laura, that I started. That was in 2016. So if you're having trouble walking, get a dog. I've been able to establish my ideal day. And I think, as she's talking about, moving the body and learning how to breathe, I think it does open you up. I think you're able to do goals. I'm better at doing goals, and things actually happen. So I live my ideal life, and 61 is definitely my favorite time of life. I was a mess in my 20s. My teens were awful. 20s was bad, and then you're in that work-family life, which is a lovely time of life. But now I'm able to do what I want. I do a lot of art. I explore different interests, and I am also bipolar, so it's part of my, I have a whole routine to manage my bipolar, but the dance really really helps. I mean, I'm just fine. So.
Hi, my name is Melissa Rausch. I don't speak in a microphone often, so I try to make sure that I held it close enough. I will be 59 in a month. When Laura, I'm standing and dancing on the stage, so that's pretty good for someone who does not like to be in front of people. Laura invited me to speak, so I really started to think back when she talked about movement in my life. And just through general discussions, I recalled childhood is when my movement really started. I grew up in a farm, so definition is spend all of your time outside regardless of the season and do everything you can outside. So we did. But in college, before the internet, my friends and I, right, we had to get videos, like VHS videos to do exercise, or find a class that a real person taught us how to do. Continued on with community ed, like Debbie. Community ed classes were great because I got to experiment. Zumba, not for me, aerobics, and yoga, Pilates. When I was pregnant, I found a pregnancy yoga, which was awesome for when I was in labor. And then gradually built my home gym. So the exercise balls and the yoga mat. And then over the years, I've discovered yoga is really my favorite. I never really identified why, but all of the things that Laura has mentioned, those are the things that I feel. I just didn't put words to it. Over the years, I have been in many car accidents, unfortunately. I've been rear-ended, I've been T-boned. All of the things I do with Laura and all of the other things I do at home help so that none of those physical ailments get worse. And I can stand on a stage and dance, and I can work at a sitting job and still get up and walk. But I have to do all of those things on a regular basis. And the importance of the myofascial work, which I do with yoga therapy balls store. I take stairs whenever I can. So I keep lots of movement in my life to be active and mobile and minimize my pain and increase my mobility.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing. And I guess if we still have a few minutes, anybody that has a question, concerns, complaints?
So we know movement matters, right? Let's give Laura a round.